I'm Colonel Pixley, and with me as always is Alderin. You're listening to the March 5th, 2945 transmission of Comm Chatter, the show about everyday pilots' lives and the news that concerns us. Today, we're going to talk about a new ship in the pickandshield lineup, because we have one. Revisit one Suj Kossi. We're also revisiting Lynch Fever. Revisiting Goldfinch. In addition, we will discuss a little bit of intra-pirate conflict. That's always fun to talk about. So yes, all that and more after the jump.
It's been a little while. We've both been busy, but nothing too exciting to talk about, except that all the work we've been doing has paid off.
Indeed it has, because we, and by we I mean Alderin, bought an RSI Orion.
Yep. Along with it, a whole bunch of concerns and stuff that may be discussed at a later date. Because seriously, I suppose we could consider that a capital ship, and managing those is completely different than a fighter.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean that takes... What's the crew on that? 8?
A lot of people. More than we have right now.
Yeah, more than we have available to us. I mean, we are just below max crew on a Retaliator. So that needs to be fixed. That really needs to be fixed.
I may have also bought another ship.
Wait, another one? You have a Tally and Orion. What'd you get now?
I totally didn't buy a second one. I really didn't. I really didn't. I bought a Taurus too as a bit of a supporting ship. But I thought maybe I could swap that in for an Andromeda. But wait, no, they don't do that.
Wait, really? You can't swap a Taurus in for an Andromeda?
Well, you could, but you'd have to,
It's okay, yeah, I get it. It's a little more difficult than just trading it in and getting the new ones.
But yeah, I'm sure it'll be useful for this. I mean, it's not as well armed, but eh.
Yeah, I mean,
I just see
we have a Connie, I guess. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that way I don't have to get rid of the torpedo base and the Retaliator.
Indeed. Indeed.
But yeah, I just think it could be useful hauling a little bit of cargo back and forth, and maybe ores to and from station from the Orion, as well as personnel if we want to stay out longer.
Yeah, we end up salvaging some stuff, like after a big battle. Dump it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Now to see if this ship sticks.
Yeah, you're just cycling through these. I'm not even gonna begin to list all the ships you've traded in to get this crap.
I remember when I was happy with just that dinky little Aurora, and now this.
I have a Hornet.
So do I.
But that's all I have. Whatever, fine.
Okay, so...
Alright, let's move on to the news. The first thing on that chopping block is, if you don't remember, the Teverin running for the UEE Senate, Suj Kossi. There was a debate on Showdown, because of course there's always debates on Showdown, that's almost like that's Showdown's format, about what the cultural significance and like what it actually means to Teverin that Kossi is running. And I don't know, I mean, I consider myself pretty sympathetic towards the Teverin. I've known a few good ones, served with them, and it's kind of funny how I find it interesting that the Teverin on Showdown this time around was actually very hardline, like disturbingly so. Like, he called Kossi's candidacy this, like, final nail, and I'm making up this terminology, that's not the terminology that he used, but, like, this nail in the coffin of Teverin culture, like, now they're completely subjugated, because now they're trying to join our government, which, I don't know,
Well, I suppose it really depends on, like, on what they want to be. Do they want to be, like, properly equal, the same and stuff beyond what they technically already are? Or do they want to be separate? I think this is kind of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine there's quite a lot of debate on whether, on like, separatism versus like just becoming not second-class citizens, or, well, I use the word citizen rather broadly in this case. Obviously, it has a very specific meaning legally, but I mean, I can totally understand what we as humans did to them all those years ago. Probably should not have done that. That was not a cool thing for us to do. But at this point, our societies are so integrated that I feel like it's far more reasonable just to try and achieve this, like, equality between our species. I don't know.
Indeed, some of their culture, well, as much of their culture as possible, should be preserved. I suppose it's just a fine line between integrating them and what's the word?
Assimilating them?
Exactly, that's the one I was looking for.
You're welcome. The other thing I wanted to point out...
If that makes sense, anyway.
Yeah, I totally get that. The other thing I wanted to point out from this particular Showdown piece is that the human side of the debate also was not in favor of Suj Kossi as a candidate, but that was more because this Koffler guy seems like he's pretty racist. I mean, just like flat out like, oh, they're all criminals.
And well, there is a sort of a stereotype going for that.
Yeah,
but it's no.
Yeah, I mean,
it's no excuse.
I don't know. I feel like people should be given the benefit of the doubt. You want to take this next one?
Yeah, sure. The big news here is that Lynch Fever, while it was thought to be contained, has spread again rather rapidly in the castle system. Right now, as of this article, there have been 102 people infected over 14 cities and 18 cases over the course of a day. So, now imagine how many people could have been infected that just aren't showing symptoms yet from those 102. That could be another system being blockaded, because not only is the Gauss system being quarantined, it actually has the Navy helping now, so it's more of a proper blockade.
Well, also the Terra system has been putting restrictions on anyone who's been in the Gauss system recently. Like, you're quarantined and made to wait for 3 weeks to see if the symptoms develop, which luckily I have not been to Gauss in a very long time, so I haven't had to deal with that, but it's brutal.
Don't we know someone that was based out of the Gauss system?
Do we know someone out of Gauss?
I feel like we do. I don't have the name off the top of my head, but I'll have to think about it some more later.
Like someone we know personally, or someone we've, like, covered?
Personally, I think.
Sucks
to be them.
Yeah.
Their business can't be doing too good.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, granted, the TDD is ensuring the economy's not being hit. I kind of doubt that.
Yeah, having an entire system quarantined kind of results in goods and services not flowing. That's bad.
Yeah, especially when the system itself is sort of a tourist destination.
Indeed.
I mean, I'm sure there are people that wanted to go on vacation that are kind of like, well, now what? Or that were on vacation and are stuck there now.
Oh, yeah, those people are probably the ones who are peeved right now. Especially if, say, they're Terran. Like, they try to come back, like, oh, by the way, you get to be in a holding center for 3 weeks. I'd hate to be those people's supervisors. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be back from my vacation like a month late. You know, sorry, boss.
But yeah, if it kind of pops up again like that in another system, things could really get really messy.
Yeah,
I
mean,
who knows? There could be like checkpoints at every jump point eventually, if it gets bad enough.
Yeah, I mean, Terra's stance on this is pretty hardline, but I feel like it's necessary because if it gets here, that basically takes out Terra's half of UE space right there in regards to trade and stuff, and I certainly don't want to catch Lynch Fever, that's for sure. Let's see, I live in one of the top 3 major spaceports on Terra. It's incredibly likely that if such a thing were to reach here, it would probably hit me. I'm just glad it hasn't been in the parts of space we generally work in.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet that if it hit Terra, it would quickly, it would spread really fast, with Terra being the hub it is.
Oh, yeah.
And especially when it hit Earth, too, because it would if it hit Terra.
Oh, yeah, if it hits Terra, it hits Earth. That's, like, not even a question. Like, I'm not even remotely qualified to speak in medical stuff. But, yeah, if it hits Terra, it hits Earth. There's no way around that. There's just too much... There's far too much traffic between the 2 planets for it to be even remotely questionable.
Another thing I just remembered is that apparently the UE military uses Goss as a shore leave planet.
Oh, yeah, they do!
So that could be...
Oh, that's gonna be all kinds of problematic. Well, it does make their blockade easier, because a lot of them are already there. But yeah, speaking of Goss, I would like to issue a quick correction. Castle is in the Goss system. Castle is not its own system.
Oh, right.
Just like to throw that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just a little out of it today. If you can't tell, we're not feeling the best.
Yeah. Alrighty.
But the show must go on.
The show indeed must go on. Any other thoughts on Lynch Fever, our impending doom, that sort of thing?
I don't like either.
Well, I mean, those
would
kind of be the same thing. Yeah, I don't want Lynch Fever either. Those symptoms do not sound like any fun, and they would certainly keep me out of the pilot seat. So, yeah, I'll avoid that if I can.
You want to get the next one?
Sure. Alrighty. Next up, Goldfinch. Veterans of the program may remember us covering Origin Jumpworks having its Goldfinch prototype plans stolen and posted publicly on the Spectrum. So, the Terra Gazette has uncovered some disturbing links between this incident and the Senate Office of Executive Services, which is ostensibly for collecting information for Senate members for research purposes, to be more informed when they pass legislation, that sort of thing. But whatever documents that the Terra Gazette has managed to get their hands on seems to point to the OES as some kind of link. Also, a former FTL employee and Navy Starman was found dead. There's a lot of funky stuff going on that the Terra Gazette has uncovered here.
Yeah, I doubt this is the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the UE could have used that for. So who knows? Maybe this could just be the work of certain senders rather than the UE as a whole.
Yeah, or someone
Like,
with ties to the OES, maybe, and like,
well, yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. A lot of weird
Yeah,
stuff going on.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people haven't even heard of the OES or have never really given it a second thought.
I'll tell you one thing. I sure hadn't. So, more troubling stuff in regards to Origin. Hopefully things get worked out for them, because like having that sort of stuff stolen, it's not good. I mean,
And people wonder why there's a little bit of tension between the UEE and Terra, when Terran companies are getting kind of, poked and prodded by them.
perhaps.
But that's for another date.
Yeah, that is indeed for another date. Well, yeah, so that's a thing. Alrighty, moving
The date
on.
when we get to use that intro.
Oh. Indeed. Alrighty, now we've got our discussion section for the show. We'll talk about a bit of intra-piracy tension. See, in the Oberon System, there's been one or more people killing haulers. Like, killing them after they've ejected or whatever, not just taking their cargo. And basically, everyone's decided to avoid it. Rightly so. I mean, if I were a hauler who heard about people getting just straight up murdered out there, I probably would take the long way around as well. So, of course, the way I heard about this was on Booty Call, which I know people are probably like, Pixley listening to Booty Call? What? I mean, I gotta keep my ear to the ground. I mean, it's always good to know what the enemy's up to, as it were. So I tune into Booty Call sometimes. And so yeah, first off, I just think it's hilarious because now the more proper pirates, you can't see the giant finger air quotes I'm making here. Like, if they've been trying to do stuff in Oberon, they can't. Like, the host of Booty Call is saying, like, he spent, like, 2 weeks waiting and only saw one freelancer.
Which was really heavily guarded.
Yeah.
And
There
now,
was a hold full of vanadium with 5 Hornets following him.
and apparently now even the Navy is getting involved. It's gotten so bad.
Yeah. So, basically, the host of Booty Call just basically put out this warning, like, saying, like, hey, whoever you are, I'm coming for you. And I imagine a lot of other pirates feel the same way.
This brings up something interesting that I don't think people realize much. It's that pirates don't really have a single unified, thought process or government or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can all do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah,
They're pirates. Doesn't matter.
I mean, it's like the difference between the Shadow Legion and the Birdsong Armada. Because, like, the Shadow Legion is definitely, like, more organized and proper, as it were, than, Birdsong goes on her crazy escapades and is a lot more ruthless and less merciful and doesn't take shit from anybody. So, yeah.
But yeah, this kind of gets you thinking. Suppose there really is a smart way and a dumb way to pirate.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if the Navy starts coming in, you know you done goofed. And
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like why the Vikings didn't burn churches. You want to know why?
because that would make a lot of people really, really angry.
No, it's because if there's still a church there, then people fill it with gold and they can loot it again.
Ah.
I'm not sure if that's historically accurate, but
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
basically,
Sounds funny.
basically, if you kill business, you don't get any business.
Yeah. Well, and you know things are bad when the pirates have gotten together and put out a bounty of 100,000 UEC for this guy dead. Not
Wait,
alive.
did they actually put a bounty on him?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Towards
I
the
didn't
bottom.
notice that.
Yeah. 100,000 UEC for him dead. Like, there's not even a price for him alive. Just like, this dude's gonna die. When I first saw this, I was almost considering having us go out there to find this guy, just to get the 100,000 UEC from them.
Except they
Just for
probably
the
went.
irony. Oh no, they'd kill me. They'd kill us on sight for sure. But I thought it would be really funny. Or like concept like, hey, so yeah, it's me. So guess what I just did? Can I have 100,000 UEC, please? Yeah, I don't think they'd be too happy about that. Which is why I almost considered doing it and didn't actually go out and do it.
Who knows? If you actually got them, he might not give you the money, but he might let you leave.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
Maybe.
there's also another thing to consider is that
There's
other
the
pirates would
million-
be going for the 100k UEC there,
Yeah,
and do I really want to fly into a system full of really angry pirates? Not really, especially with pick and shield the way it is right now. Not a whole system full. I mean, if we can go toe to toe, then yeah, I'll do it. But yeah, no, yeah. It would have been really funny though, and I would have laughed my ass all the way to the bank if that had actually happened. But hopefully by now it's been claimed. I mean, it's been like 3 weeks since this went out, and I haven't seen anything like in regards to an update on this, so I don't know whether this person's still out there. So if you're considering going out to find this guy, you might want to double check and make sure no one else has done it. Although I would imagine if you actually cared, you would tune into booty call more frequently, or like just keep your ear closer to the ground in pirate space.
It's probably worth noting that we'll have actual pirate views on this next episode.
Yes. So, yeah, we'll see what try to see what Birdsong and Semi-Grim think. Or no, anyone else. If you have a particular view, if you're a pirate and want to listen to the show, or want to weigh in on this topic, please shoot us an email at pickandshield@gmail.com. I guess that does kind of segue into our outro, because that was the last topic we had for the show.
Yeah, I suppose it was.
Yeah, alrighty. So, we'd like to thank everyone who's made this show possible, ship manufacturers, all the wingmen out there who keep us flying and we keep them flying, Santa Van Ryan for inspiring us to do the show, and of course all of you for listening. If you would like to contact us, either to request to be a guest on the show, or just have some sort of commentary, like, for example, what you think about this guy who's been ghosting haulers, please send us an email, pickandshield@gmail.com. The actual text for that you can plug into your mail client will be in the description of this feed. Like, it's not that difficult. So yeah, feedback, comments, want to be on the show, shoot us an email. And yes, pirates are welcome. Can't stress that enough.
I think our only guests have actually been pirates. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They have
they've
been.
all been pirates, all two of them. So yeah, so that wraps us up for this show. So this is Colonel and Alderin signing off.
Have a good day, everyone.